Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel of BeingACCA. In this video, we are going to be solving BELTON Park Resort March 2019 question. So first, let's read through the scenario once. BELTON Park Resort is a new theme park resort located in the country of Beeland. The resort is made up of a theme park, a hotel, and an indoor water park. The resort opened 2 months ago and is already very popular, as all theme parks in Beeland are required by law to shut down in the colder month of January because of the risk of accidents. BELTON Park Resort must decide whether or not to shut down the whole resort or just the theme park. It could choose to keep open the hotel and or the water park. Since BELTON Park Resort has not been open for long, there is a limited historical data available about costs and revenues. However, based on the last 2 months, the following average monthly data is available. For the hotel, this is the data provided to us, and for the water park, this is the data provided to us. Extras over here includes anything purchased by the customer not included in the room rate or the admission price. Management estimates that for January, the average room rate per night would need to decrease by 30% and the admission price for the water park by 20%. With such reductions, it is estimated that an occupancy rate of 50% would be achieved for the hotel and that the number of visitors to the water park would be 52% lower than current levels. The average nightly spend on extras per room at $20 at the hotel and $12 per customer at the water park is expected to remain unchanged. Okay, these are the running costs, and here are the notes that pertain to these costs. Let's see what the requirement asks us to do. We are asked over here to calculate the incremental cash flows for January, and it is told that we have to make our calculations according to 31 days. And first, let's calculate it for the hotel. Right. So first, let me see what the inflows are. Okay. So first of all, my number of rooms are 120, and it is saying that there will be an occupancy of 50%. So, and it is for 31 nights. So let me first find out the number of room nights that we are going to be selling. Number of room nights, right? So this will come out to be 120 rooms for 31 days, and this is going to be at 50% occupancy. So this will give me 1860 rooms that will be earning me revenue for all the nights that are there in these 31 days. Then I'm going to use the rate per night and find out my revenue. Rate per night. This can be calculated as it is said that the average room rate per night is $100. However, it is mentioned that the room rate per night would decrease by 30% right over here. So I will multiply this by 70%. So this is 70, and with this I can find out my total room revenue. I'm just going to multiply these two, right? So this is where I have found out my revenue. Now there is some contribution that we are earning from the extras. For the extras, we have it is said that the that average nightly spend on extras per room is $20. So it is said that the average nightly spend on extras per room of $20 at the hotel and $12 per customer at the water park is expected to remain unchanged. Right over here it is said so. So for extras, my total nights again are same. I'll copy this from here. And my contribution is 60%. my margin is 60%, and this is the spend is $20. So I'm just going to take 60% of 20, which comes out to be 12. Multiplying these two, I will find out the total for the month of January. This is my contribution from extras, right? Then I'm just going to add these two amounts, this plus the extras. So this is going to tell me all the inflows that I'm going to have for the month of January. So these are the total cash inflows, right? Then we'll see what the outflows are going to be. Let's come to the costs portion. So these are going to be the outflows now. Moving here, let me look at the costs. First, we have the staff costs. The staff costs are 120,000 for the hotel. Included in the staff cost of the hotel is the salary of 30,000 per annum for the hotel manager, 24,000 per annum for the head chef. These are both permanent, who are paid for full year regardless of their working hours. The water park employees, okay, we are not doing for water park right now. Then we have the temporary staff costs relate to temporary staff who are only paid for the hours they work. If the hotel stays open in January, all of these members will continue to work their current hours because their jobs are largely unaffected by guest occupancy rates. However, the other half of the staff will work proportionately less hours to reflect the 50% occupancy rate in January as opposed to the 90% rate of the last 2 months. At the water park, this we'll read later. So as for the staff costs, our costs are 120,000 at the moment. I forgot to put a zero. And what we're going to do over here is, it is mentioned that the 30,000 per annum for the manager and 24,000 per annum for the head chef is still going to be paid because these are permanent staff and they are paid for the full year despite their working hours. As for the temporary staff, we can see that if the hotel stays open in January, half will continue to work current hours and half of the staff will work proportionately less hours to reflect 50% occupancy rate. So how we're going to calculate this is that first let's find out the remaining staff after subtracting for the permanent staff. I have manager and I have my chef, head chef. So as for the manager, this is 30,000 per annum. So for 1 month, this is going to be divided by 12. And then I just forgot to put a minus sign because this has to be subtracted. We need to find out how much is the temporary staff. So for the head chef, it is 24,000. So dividing this by 12 again to find out the monthly thing. And this comes out to be 2,000. Remaining is, let me put a sum function over here. Just going to add all these up. And with this, I find out how much are my temporary staff getting paid. So 50% of this is going to be the normal hours. So 50% normal, right over here, multiplying this by 50%, right? And then 50% at reduced hours, 50% at reduced hours. So this is going to be, now the reduced hours is going to be in proportion, as it is mentioned over here, this is going to be in proportion to the occupancy. So earlier we were having 90% occupancy and now it is 50%, so it will be 50 by 90 reduced according to the occupancy, right? So this is how we find out the remaining the reduced hours. And Okay, now let's have a look at the next one, which is the maintenance costs. So maintenance costs are going to be maintenance cost is undertaken by a local company all for all work carried out each month. If the hotel and water park are closed, tech works will instead be paid a flat fee for the month of 4,000 for the hotel and 2,000 for the water park. So let's see over here that maintenance if open and if closed. So if we're going to keep the park open, the maintenance is going to remain the same, which is 14,600. 14,600. And if remains closed, then we are paying a flat fee of 4,000. So my incremental that I'm going to have to pay, because in the requirement we are all asked all about the incremental things that we are going to be getting and how much incremental we are going to have to pay. So this is 10,600, and 50% normal incremental will have to be paid if we keep the park open, and 50% reduced hours will have to be paid if we keep the park open. Then we have our power costs. Power costs, electricity, gas. Okay. Belton Park pays a fixed monthly charge for electricity of 8,000 for the hotel and 7,000 for the water park all year round. So as for electric, even if we keep the park open or if we keep the park closed, the cost is going to remain the same. So there is no incremental. So that's why I'm going to add a 0 over here. And then you can also show using this method if open, if closed, and put a 0 and show the difference over there. That also works fine. It shows to demonstrate how you have understood the question. And then going for gas, the gas charges relate to heating and include a fixed charge of 2,200 per month for the hotel and 1,500 for the water park. The remainder of the gas charges is based solely on usage and would be expected to increase by 50% in January because of the colder weather. So now my gas again is in two components. The fixed proportion is anyway going to be paid even if we keep the park closed. The variable is something that we are going to have to pay incremental if we keep it open. So it says my total cost for power is 20,000. So I'm just going to find my component that is variable which I have to pay. So out of the total of 20,000, my 8,000 is for heating, for the electricity right over here. This is the 8,000 that we will have to subtract from here. So subtracting 8,000, and then I will subtract 2,200, which is the fixed charge. So this is this difference, this entire calculation that I've done over here, this will give me my component of the variable cost of gas, and it is said that this will increase by 50%. So this will be 1.5, right? So this is my incremental cost that I'll have to pay. Instead of showing this over here, I can strictly put it over here directly. And then my next cost that I have is security costs. So let's read what security has to say. If hotel and water park close, no changes will be made to the current arrangements for security whilst the premises are empty. So again, as for security, there is going to be no difference. So no incremental costs. And then last is water cost. It is estimated that water cost for the hotel would fall to 6,450 for the month if it remains open in January. However, the cost for the water park would be expected to remain at their current level. If the hotel and water park were closed, all the water would be turned off and no charges would arise. Okay, so over here, the question has directly given us how much the water would cost us incrementally, because otherwise there would be no charges. But if we keep the hotel open in the month of January, then we are going to have to incur $6,450. So this is my cost. So I'm just going to add my total outflows, add everything to find out the total outflows if we keep the park open in the month of January. So I'm going to take this plus this plus this plus this, even though it's a 0, but we still got to show in our calculations this and this. Right over here we have our total outflows. So my total incremental cash flows can be taken as the difference of inflows and outflows, total incremental cash flows. So my inflows over here were these many, and my outflows that I have calculated over here are these many. So if I keep my hotel open in the month of January, this is the total incremental cash flow that I'm going to earn because of opening the water park. Now the alignment can be changed to currency if you wish. Over here it's, yeah, here's the dollar sign. So yeah, this is going to be my incremental cash flows if I keep the hotel open. In this video we have solved part A and I part. In the next video we'll solve the next part.